Actually, I need to label. Yep, I did. So for problem number 11, this is horrible. There we go. I have the equation 2m squared plus 3 equals negative 7. Remember, I want to make it look like this. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We're going to solve using the quadratic formula. So I got to set this equal to 0. So I'm going to add 7m to both sides. Now 7m is not a like term. In other words, I can't add 7m to 3. I can't add it to 2m squared. So I just write it down as 7m. So 2m squared plus 7m plus 3 equals 0. Next step, I'm going to identify the a, b, and c. So a is the number in front of the squared variable, so a is equal to 2. B is the number in front of the variable to the first power, so positive 7. And then c is the constant, which means no variable, which is 3. Next, I'm going to write down the quadratic equation, x equals. All these times I made you write it down. Have you guys kind of memorized it? Yeah. So it's minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. That's a 4 all over 2a. Next step, and I'm sorry if I am running a little fast. I'm trying to get as many of these problems covered with you guys as I can. I'm going to, wherever there's a b, I'm going to plug in a 7. So I got negative 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 7, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 3. All over 2 times a, which is 2. Now my next line, I got a is equal to negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49 minus negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24 all over 4. On my next line, that gives me x equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 25, huh? That worked out. All over 4, or negative 7 plus or minus 5 all over 4. I'm going to separate those. X equals negative 7 plus 5 over 4. That's negative 2 over 4, or negative 1/2. X equals negative 7 minus 5 all over 4. That gives me x equals negative 12 over 4, or x equals negative 3. Now, if I want to double check all my work, let me zoom out so you guys can see this. I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to move my graphing calculator over here, and I'll plug it in the graphing calculator, and I'll leave that up so you guys can see it. Remember, you can't leave it as m. You got to change it to x. So I'm going to say 2x squared plus 3 equals negative 7x. Okay, and then now I'll slide this back in here. And guess what? Crosses at negative 3 and also negative 1/2. Cool. What do you think of them apples?